was a good practice. We were in half pads, so we started out and did a lot of pressure stuff, and there was some good progress by our offense, particularly offensive line. Still a lot of stuff coming at them, but I thought they did better, and Sean did a better job delivering the ball where he needs to. You know, it's been encouraging to see a couple of those younger players, particularly some of the younger receivers, do well. So that was encouraging. We did some pressure on our punters today, and both of them did fairly well. Ryan really had a couple good hits, and so feel better about that. You know, another day of installation. Tomorrow will be in full pads. And so today was a good day. We went down on the tailgate lot and changed it up a little bit, and guys responded well.
Who are some of the young receivers you mentioned that are starting to catch your eye a little bit right now?
I think Alex Brown and Isaiah Nair are both doing some good things. And then, as I said earlier, Trayton Welsh continues to impress us as a tight end. I think he's really got some good presence there. So those guys, I think, are beyond what we normally would have with freshmen.
How is Sean throwing the ball through the first week of practice?
I'd say a little bit behind where we want him to be. Started out fairly well, but there's more things coming at him, and this is all the progression of a quarterback. I'm encouraged, but probably not as far along as maybe what we want.
How much, I know you guys are doing blitz drills and stuff, how much live stuff are you throwing at the quarterbacks right now?
Well, even though it's blitz and some of the other stuff, we're not tackling the ground, but all those pictures are pretty much live for that guy, and that's why we do a lot of 11-on-11 work.
Are you seeing, you know, obviously an interior defensive line, you've talked a lot about Ravonte and even Javari, or any other guys starting to come to fruition or maybe starting to emerge a little bit at this point in camp to give you some depth there?
Well, I think Josiah Hall on the end position could swing inside. But, you know, we're still probably a little bit thinner than what we'd like. You know, I would say Victor's doing some good things as a defensive tackle. You know, we're not near as deep as what we have been. I think we'll know a little bit more next week.
How has Harshman looked at tight end coming back
really
from
good.
that injury?
Yeah, he's running well. He's blocking well. He's going to be a great weapon for this next year.
At free safety, I know you're obviously there's Braden and then there's Rome and even Cam Murray. Are those kind of the three right now, and I know there's still a long ways to go.
Cam Murray's done some good things. We're rotating him around, but he's a little bit further along than what we thought. Braden did not finish practice today. He's got a little bit of hamstring strain. And the other guy we're a little bit concerned about is Ravonte. They're going to MRI his knee to make sure that's okay.
With the size that Nate and Jackson have at tight end, what kind of versatility does that give you at that position?
Well, a lot of versatility. You know, we're pretty mature at that spot now as far as what type of tight ends we want to have. And so beyond being a good blocker, they're good receivers. And so having those guys in our arsenal gives us a lot of flexibility.
Do you ever coach two tight ends that big?
No.
Yeah?
No, they're big. And big is good.
What did you like about, I mean, obviously their size, but into the recruiting process when you...
You know, Nate was from a smaller school in the northeastern part of Ohio. We saw him on the basketball court. We knew he was going to get bigger. You know, he's maturing more. He's up to 270 pounds. Jackson was a guy who was a really good basketball player that was a potential tight end, and actually he tore his ACL his senior year, so he didn't play. But we were betting that ACL was going to heal, which it has. And now you got a guy that can really run the 6'5", 250 pounds, and that's a good thing.
You're going in full pass tomorrow. Are you scrimmaging at all tomorrow? Or is it just a normal practice?
You know, we may do a little stuff in the end goal line, but most of the time when we're rotating through, we're going to go spiders one day, half pads, full pads, and then continue to mix it up.
So Alonzo Hall's got a boot on his foot. Is that a concern long term?
Well, I not a long term, but he's got a fracture in there, and that's going to heal. And it was not surgical, but it's going to be, you know, several weeks before he's able to go.
You mentioned some of the true freshmen earlier. Are there any others at any other position that are standing out to you right now?
Well, every time that I would say nobody, then there's going to be somebody. But obviously, if somebody has not come to the top, I've got a little bit of a concern. You know, I think a little bit more next week. I'll let you know.
Craig, when you go back and watch the film from all these practices, is there any similar thread, good or bad, that stands out to you through this first week?
Well, you know what I think is we just got more competition. We're deeper than what we have been, and some of those things are really encouraging. The other thing is just to see the progression of our quarterbacks, even though We're not where we want to be right now. We're much further along than where we were last year. And Sean is much further along, and Tyler's doing some good things. So I see some real progress there.
How's that running back competition between X and Trey?
I would say X has got a pretty significant advantage right now. Trey's done some good things, but, you know, with all the sets and things like that, he's probably had more busts than what we'd like.
So it's more mental with him right now?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.